Hi there, how are you doing? It's your girl Simranjeet Mann here, and today I'm doing a little bit of a different video, if I'm honest with you, but kind of links into personal development and productivity. Recently I switched from an Android to an iPhone 12 Pro, and I'm just basically going to talk to you all about what's on my iPhone. What apps do I have? How have I organised it to ensure maximum productivity? What works for me? Are there any particular tips that I can provide, etc. For those of you who are new to my channel, I make content for aspiring solicitors, but I also make content about personal development. I make vlogs about my day-to-day journey to becoming a solicitor and beyond. And I talk about other bits and bobs, random stuff, just like this video. Let's get stuck in with this video and what's on my iPhone. So let's start off with the first page. This is the first page. It's my home page. Oops, accidentally clicked on the settings there. And this is kind of my, I guess I call it my utilities page, I guess. So it's got all of my stuff there, my notes, my calendar, calculator, and as you can see I've got the stack that changes according to what I need. So that's quite nice as well for me to look at in the mornings. I've also got other kind of miscellaneous apps here. So I've got all of my Google apps here. I've got the apps that I need when I'm traveling, so Uber, Trainline if I want to book a restaurant. I've also got health related apps, so the track and trace app, my gym app, and Aviva Digital GP, that's with my work. I've also got this app called Amplify that I use alongside my workplace. So whenever my work, my firm, they promote something on LinkedIn, this app basically allows me to share that straight away to my own network as well. So yeah, pretty standard for the first page. And I guess this is now when we move on to the juicy stuff, onto the next page. So I love widgets so much, and I think this is one of the most life-changing things about, I know Android had widgets, but they look kind of crap. They don't look as paying as these ones look. And what I have here is my to-do list. I absolutely love having a to-do list. This is one that I just keep updating as I go along, and I just, it's just really nice to have that just there for me to click onto. My to-do list is so random in terms of what I need to do, like at the bottom, clean my Air Forces, which I definitely need to do. I messed them up over the weekend, so I need to sort that out. The whole purpose of this page particularly is when I wake up. Oh wait, I've just realised this is all the way over my shoulder. Anyway, the whole purpose of this page is kind of, I guess, my learning page and my reflection page. So this is where I have things like Clubhouse. I have my habit app, which I'll talk a little bit about later. I've got my journaling app, Day One. I really do recommend Day One. Ali Abdul actually mentioned it in his YouTube video, and that's when I downloaded it, because it allows you to obviously document your thoughts, but then you can sync it up to your photo albums as well. So it kind of just does it, on this day you wrote this and you took these photos and stuff like that, and you were at this place, which I quite like. I think that's quite nice for me to reflect on and look back on. I don't journal a lot. If I click on the app, let me go on. Yeah, I don't journal a lot, so you can see the blue places are where I journal, and obviously I only got the app on the 24th of May. So I don't journal here and there, but whenever I feel like it, I do that. I'm not going to show you what I write, that's personal, but this is kind of, I guess, my learning page. Now the next page, I guess it kind of lends on to that. So this is really cool, and a lot of people, when I post this on my Instagram story, they ask me, what is this app? I have to know. And it's essentially a habit tracker, and I've mentioned it on the previous slide, the habit app. So this allows me to track my habits every single day. And another cool thing about this app is that it allows you to set reminders, so at certain parts of the day. So for example, I'm more likely to read a book in the evening, so I have a timer that tells me to remind me to basically read a book. And yeah, so you can basically just add to these habits, and these are all the habits that I want to do in my life. I've also got my other apps, so I've got Notion here, I've got all of my YouTube based apps here as well, and this is the Day One app. They also allow you to have a widget, so you can have a streak of how many days that you've done your journaling for, so that I think that's quite nice to keep there as well. So that's kind of how I've organised it. I think the main intention of this page is just a follow on from the page before. So every day when I wake up in the morning, I like to look at those two pages specifically, rather than heading straight to the social media apps, which are on the next page. Now, there's a lot of kind of thought that went into designing this page particularly. because I feel like the biggest killer of my production levels and my motivation levels is social media use. A lot of people recommend having your social media in folders so it's kind of hidden away, but for me personally, I actually wanted it all out in the open. The way I've kind of organised it is it's kind of hidden in the middle of the screen. It just kind of works for me better psychology. Try it out if you find you're better having social media apps in a folder or out in the open. For me, I personally found it easier to have it out in the open, so that's what I've done. And yeah, there are certain social media apps here though I am thinking about deactivating, like Facebook. I only really use that for business purposes and I barely ever check the app, so I am thinking about deleting that. I've got other apps here, so Like to Know It and Depop and Nike are kind of like my fashion-based apps. Like to Know It is pretty cool actually. Let me click on it. It's essentially an app that allows you to, whenever you see like a really cool influencer and they've got an amazing outfit, for example, let me show you an influencer that I really rate. I really rate Erin. I like her fashion sense. So when I go on her profile, she has all these different outfits that she puts on this website, on this app, and I can basically then see where she gets them from and then buy them for myself if I really want to get them as well. So that's essentially what that app does. Obviously Depop for selling clothes and also buying clothes. I think it's a great place to sell and buy clothes. The Nike app, so I'm aware of the latest drops in my sneakers and stuff like that. I'm trying to be like a sneakerhead, not quite there yet. I mean, I literally only own like Air Forces and Air Maxes and that's it, but I'm trying to get there if my account will allow me one day, my bank account. But yeah, and then I've got my photography based apps. As a content creator, I care a lot about these apps. Huji, it creates a kind of a vintage effect on your photos, which is really cool. Snapseed, I mainly use that for healing photos, to say if there's something in the background that I don't like in a photo, I just remove it using that. Remini makes the photos clearer, so if I've got like a blurry photo or something where it's not as quite defined, I can use this app to make the photo a little bit more clearer. I use that a lot for Instagram photos. Lightroom is my absolute favourite app for photo editing. I love this app so much. Can't live without it. Can't believe it's free, but I love it. VSCO I've started using as well. I want to be one of those like edgy hip VSCO girls. Is it Visco or VSCO? I don't know. Let me know in the comments. But I really want to, I try and post a bit more on there as well, and I love using their filters. Camera Connect, so this is an app that connects Bluetooth, so my phone essentially acts as a clicker for my DSLR camera, so that's pretty handy. And PixArt, I think I used that one time when I wanted to blur the background or something, but I downloaded it. I don't use it as often as I do with the rest, but I downloaded it for that purpose. Now, as you can see on this page, I've also got the screen time, and I've deliberately put that there as well because if, for example, I'm having a really unproductive day and I'm always on social media, that screen time then acts as a bit of a reminder of, Sim, you've spent way too long on these apps. So that's why I've kept that there. And the next page, let's move on. So this is kind of like my finance, my bank accounts, like my crypto, all of that, this kind of page. I've put crypto news there as well, so I can kind of keep updated with what's going on. I feel like crypto is very heavily based from what I know. Obviously, don't take this as financial advice and don't feel like, I know nothing about crypto at this moment. I'm very much a basic learner, but it is very much something that's affected by the news and stuff, just like stock market and stuff. I don't know what I'm chatting about, but basically having the news there really helps, especially with crypto. I've got my different apps, so I've got my different bank accounts here. I want to buy some stocks on free trade, so I've got that app there. I use Binance more than Coinbase, if any of you guys are wondering from like a crypto perspective. But yeah, I mean, I've used both, and I think the reason why I switched to Binance is because Dogecoin wasn't on Coinbase, but now Coinbase does have Dogecoin, so yeah, I don't know. I've just kept both, so it's fine. And Pi is another kind of crypto-based app that someone recommended to me. I don't really know what it does or how I use it, but I just downloaded it anyway. And yeah, the main thing I think that I really like about iPhone and the iOS is that you're able to have the app library, so any apps that you don't use you're able to put in there, and it just kind of declutters things, which I really like. So that was a really quick speed tour about my phone and how it's kind of organised for me. So that was everything that I have about what's on my iPhone. In terms of like a brief review about the iPhone, I think because I switched from Android to iPhone, I really, really am impressed with the camera. I think it's amazing. And I'm not gonna lie, Android is better in terms of battery life and storage. I find iCloud really annoying, if I'm really honest with you. It is what it is. And yeah, I think that's basically everything. This is such a quick video, but I just wanted to really quickly show you what's on my phone. If you found any of the apps useful, then do let me know in the comments. If you could recommend any apps that you think are really cool, also let me know in the comments. I'm more than happy to hear your suggestions. Thank you so much for watching today's video. See you all in the next one.